Welcome to The Grand Balance, a bi-weekly podcast hosted by two working grandmas navigating the beautiful chaos of work and family.
Happy New Year, Angela.
Happy New Year.
So excited to be back. It feels like it was so long.
It has been long, but gosh, we've been so darn busy.
I know, yes. Catching our breath, but excited to get back on it and catch up and get some listener input.
Definitely. So first, tell me about your time off, because it's been since mid-November, I think, that we've been together.
We were on baby watch because, of course, since the first one was almost a month early, we thought for sure second little girlie was going to come early. So I was coming the third week of December, and just to cover it, her in-laws had come to do an early Christmas with them the week before. So she had coverage in case she went into labor. And then her actual due date was January 7th, but they had a scheduled C-section for New Year's Eve, December 31st. So we thought, in my mind, in her mind, you know where this is going. We all thought it was going to be very early. I brought clothes to do my whole New Year's plans with our regular crew and my son and his girlfriend, and take my little sidekick, almost 2-year-old with me. Well, needless to say, none of that happened because she took her little sweet time.
But she was still kind of early, a week earlier than her due date, right?
Right. So they went in scheduled. It was actually fine because when I first got there, we were doing a lot of Christmas prep, and that was fun. And then my son came a couple days later, which was really nice to have everyone together. So he was there almost a week, and then he left after Christmas for the New Year's plans. Then we were hanging out. New Year's Eve, they went in at the crack of dawn, or actually before dawn, and had her as scheduled. And I don't know if it was the second one being scheduled, but night and day different experience for her. So many different factors came into play, but that's a good note for our listeners. Even if you have the same thing scheduled or your kids do, it can be totally different the second time around.
I experienced that with my daughter as well.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Because, I mean, she was in the hospital a week the first time. Baby was very underweight, had to have all the stresses of weighing her all the time, going to the doctor even once they got released daily. She would have to breastfeed and then pump to supplement. So she was getting absolutely no rest, constantly stressed. First baby. I feel for her so much still even now because it was just so much. This time, baby ate like a champ, normal weight. She was 7'2" when she was born. And the other thing my daughter told me was with C-sections now, and not all hospitals are doing this, but they have some type of new block that they use that lasts several days out, 4 to 5 days. So it doesn't completely mute the pain, but it definitely lessens it. So she said rather than like on day 3 when moving, having a level 10 pain, it's more like a 4. So she was released after 2 nights and moving very well as could be expected with a C-section. So everything was just really well. Of course, they were in the hospital New Year's Eve night. So the toddler and I were hanging out on New Year's. That was definitely the quietest New Year's I've ever had since I was probably, I don't know, a young kid.
Oh, yeah, because she was probably down at 7 p.m. or
yeah, exactly. 7:30, she was in bed. The problem, and I'm sure a lot of people have this problem, fireworks are legal where they live. And so their entire neighborhood felt like it was under siege and a war zone.
Oh.
So her dogs were bananas, would not go outside. So finally, they would not go outside to potty. So I'm like, I can't go to bed without letting these dogs out. I tried. They're 100-pound dogs, pulling them outside. Nope, they were not going outside. So finally, around 3 a.m, it settled down enough to where the dogs would go out. So going to bed at 3 on New Year's Eve and getting up at 6 o'clock with a toddler was my idea of a fun party, but it was everything. I was so grateful. Everything was going so well for them.
It's like when you used to really party, that's about as much sleep as you got.
I know, right? But there was no party involved.
Yeah.
We had our own little party, which was fun.
That's great.
So everything is good. I have to tell you, her husband, of course, he's an engineer by trade, and he is like a MacGyver type of guy. So he can do anything. But when you're laying down in bed, I did not have a C-section, so I cannot relate to this, but it's hard to sit up.
Right.
And so he got a flat sheet and he rolled it like a rope and then tied knots in it and put it underneath the mattress where it would completely hold it secure. And so she could kind of like pull herself up on the knots by herself.
Oh,
It was ingenious. I was like,
interesting.
I mean, he never ceases to amaze me.
We need to see how to get that contraption because I had the same thing when I had my hysterectomy. You cannot pull up. It's your core.
It would work well in so many
Yeah, it
situations.
would. Wow.
Yeah,
He should patent something.
Yes, exactly. I have no idea where he got the idea, if he just imagined it in his head, but it was very ingenious, I thought.
So, any New Year's resolutions? I know last year we had several, which we can revisit because we tried to do episodes related to those. Anything new this year for you, Sharon?
So after last year, I'm not a big believer in resolutions because I don't know if they're that effective, to be honest, but I did well. I had a purging and donating resolution, which thanks to my sister and my niece, a lot of it got done, but I've been trying to carry that over in normal life. In fact, just this morning, I had to get a garbage disposal replaced, and I completely cleaned out everything under my kitchen sink, organized it. So I'm definitely doing well in that area. I don't know what it is. Please, anyone that has great suggestions, write in, call in. I am not getting my water in, and I know how important it is, and I just don't know why I have such a mental block. Like, drink your freaking water, Sharon. Like, it's not that hard.
Yeah. So from the purging, you'd give yourself what kind of grade?
I'm going to give myself a B+.
Wow. Okay, that's good. Well, I know the garage was a huge thing for you to purge that.
And the house is an ongoing effort, but I'm constantly working on it.
Okay, water drinking, what's your grade?
F.
F. Okay. Yeah, you only had 2 last year. So the water drinking, that is hard because I like flavor too. So even for me, it's like, I'll get in water, but it's...
I used to be, I don't understand what happened to me. Used to be such an excellent water drinker. My kids are all excellent water drinkers.
Mine are too.
And I watch, like, especially when I was there in Texas, they're downing their whole big metal water bottles. And mine's like 1 sip gone. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I need to step it up.
Yeah. Okay. Well, is that what you think you're going to focus on this year?
Okay, I guess I'm going to have to. And I think worst comes to worst, I'm going to just set a timer on my phone and drive myself nuts all day.
That's probably a good idea, though.
Maybe I'll drive myself so nuts that I'll just actually start doing it by force.
Out of annoyance.
Yes.
Of your alarm.
And the other thing I have been concentrating on after doing a lot of research of the importance of sleep, I've been really actively trying to make sure I get good quality sleep.
So I'm a pretty hard grader, and I was reviewing my resolutions, which we'll go through in a minute, but I have to say I did a really good job on sleep.
Oh, good.
After that episode that we did.
Right.
I cut all the screen time out. I don't read in bed. I don't look at my phone in bed. And it took a while. I think I mentioned on a prior episode, but I go to bed and it takes me no more than 10 minutes to fall asleep.
And I'm still doing listen to the podcast on a timer going to sleep, and it helped. I don't know what the difference is between that and the TV being on, maybe the light. But yeah, same thing.
But it's just audio, not...
Correct.
That's probably the difference, just the audio versus the video.
And it just must lull me because even like decently interesting podcasts, I fall asleep. So I think that's been a big help for me too after our episode on that.
Well, good. Success. Yay.
I'm glad it worked for you because I know you were struggling much more so than I was with sleep.
Yeah, I just had to, what do they say?
Bite the bullet?
Yeah, I just had to bite the bullet and suffer for a few weeks, but now it's well worth it. So my resolutions, but remember we talked about not being resolution, which is the desire to change, but goals. So my goals.
Okay, yes, I like that better because the term resolutions doesn't seem to be super effective.
Yeah, but even having the goals, which I'm very goal oriented, so I'm surprised that I failed so miserably, but I think I'm a hard grader as well anyway. So my first one was health, really getting back into health, especially after the beginning of the year and, all the female stuff I had going on. I'm going to give myself a C. So I still do not exercise enough, even though we had that episode 25 on fitness and nutrition and how to incorporate exercise.
And I'll tell you, after being gone for almost a month, when I went back to Pilates, oh my, I loved every minute. My body felt immediately stretched, relaxed, not stiff,
We
better.
need it.
I know. It's crazy how much just stretching and moving your body can change you.
So what's interesting about that moving, right? So after my hysterectomy, I had all these hormone changes. So I had frozen shoulder, and the doctor said 80% of frozen shoulder is with women 45 to 55. So they attribute it to like perimenopause and all of that.
And hormones.
And hormones. Now I have severe joint pain in my hips. But I'll tell you, when I am moving, I'm fine. It's when I sit and then it keeps coming back. So why I have a C rating, one is because of exercise, and two is because it's still taking me too long to get to the doctor. And I finally got an appointment 3 months in advance, and now I think I have to change that appointment.
Oh, no.
Because I have to be out of town. Like, oh my gosh,
dang it.
I cannot win here. So anyway, I need to do better. I need to go back to our own episode 25 and see how I can incorporate.
Change it up. The one thing I've really been trying to do is if I have to sit and work for long stretches, I make myself get up and move.
Yeah.
And that has helped, even if it's just walking the dog 2 or 3 houses up. He walks slow as molasses because of his arthritis, but just like getting up, even for 5 or 10 minutes, makes a huge difference.
Well, and so I have a desk that I can sit and stand. And so I do stand a lot throughout the day. But my physical therapist said standing is still sedentary. Like you have to move.
Like move your joints, yes.
Yeah. So the fact that you're like getting out and walking is great. I probably need to do a better job of just taking phone calls from during a walk and
right.
stuff.
And the vitamin C and vitamin D is that what you get from the sun? Vitamin D, right?
Vitamin D.
When you're outside, yeah.
So the second one of my goals was to help with my mother-in-law. Now, I think I mentioned before we ended our last season that she ended up passing away, but I think I just felt so much guilt that I tried, but I don't think I did enough, and it was still really on my sister-in-law to handle much of the burden. But one of the things that I think we both failed at is we said we were going to do an episode on the sandwich generation and how we can help women who are in this struggle between still helping raising kids, grandkids, elderly, your parents, and just preparing for all of that. We didn't do that episode. So we got to do it
No, I
this
feel
time.
like we did do it.
We did not. I went back.
Oh, you did? Check?
Yeah.
I feel like maybe we didn't do a whole episode, but we definitely discussed it, just the whole juggling act between aging parents and adult kids and grandkids. But yeah, that's definitely something we can revisit for sure.
We didn't give the advice. And I think after experiencing it all through the passing, the preparedness for the passing, the post-passing, like everything that you have to be responsible for,
right?
I think it's worthy of it.
And anyone in our age group is either going through it, has gone through it, has friends going through it. It's just so prevalent throughout this age and our stage in life.
Absolutely. So we will get to that for sure this season. The third was saving more. So I gave myself a B on that. And here's why. I did overspend on the grandkids again. So I didn't follow some of my own advice. If you remember episode 28.
Oh, I remember. I'm just laughing because this is such a topic of conversation ongoing with me, but
I know. So we had 2 episodes on this, remember? So episode 28 was like the balancing of grandparents, like how much to spend, how balance that versus being too frugal and, crazy stories. And then we had the financial expert on episode, I think it was 31, which is part 2. So I've failed I still spend on the grandkids too much, and I need to pare it back because I don't want them to get used to getting so much from the grandparents because I don't want that entitlement.
Well,
either.
The opposite. I mean, I think about that as well, but I don't want a relationship just on what you can give me.
That's right.
Because that's what I was thinking. It's so funny because I do try to help more with the necessities like clothing and that type of stuff because they're going to need it regardless.
Yeah.
And I definitely overspend on toys because it's so much fun to buy. But my daughter said, well, now that there's 2, what are you going to do next Christmas? Are you still going to get as much for the kids as you did this year for the one? And I said, I think so.
Well, that's exactly what I did this Christmas. And oh my gosh, when I looked, and so the first grandchild, he's 2. And it was so cute because he's not at the age yet where he's just tearing things apart. He literally would open one gift and go play with it for like 30 minutes. And we're like, no, come back. You have more. But it's so cute to watch that they don't even care how many gifts they get. They're just excited.
And we kind of figured that in too, and it worked out so seamlessly at Christmas. We'll have to talk about that.
Oh, no. For me, it was, why did I buy so much? Like, he would have been happy with 2 things, and I just kept going and going.
Oh, well, see, I was there so long, I just gave things out daily.
Oh.
And then when Mom and Dad were in the hospital, it was super nice to have some little cute surprises.
Yeah.
That's another topic I want to talk to you about because something interesting happened.
Okay. So anyway, I'm kind of failing at that, and it's just because of the excitement of it all. But I don't want to set the standard. But I did do good from learning from the financial maven on episode 31, and I set up an auto savings every month because I had said I wasn't saving enough. So I did set that up every month. It's out of sight, out of mind, and it's just happening behind the scenes.
Oh, nice.
So that was good. And then my last one was decluttering, and I do give myself a B on that. I definitely got rid of a lot of stuff, and I set a goal for like 1 bag a weekend, or, even if it's like 30 minutes, a lot of donations. So
yes, I've been doing that very regularly. Your nursery came out so cute.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and I'm trying to keep it all neat and organized. So anyways, that was what we decided to do last year. So besides our failures, or you had more successes, except your water.
Well, I only had 2, and I'm 1 for 2, so I wouldn't say 50% is that successful, but
I guess because you did give yourself an F. Mine's like in the BC category, which is very annoying because I am type A, which means I want A's or A pluses. So
don't we all?
I know. So what about new resolutions or goals this year?
Well, we're going to stick with
water.
The water.
Okay.
I was going to say balance, but I feel like I did a really good job of balance last year.
You did?
Mm-hmm. Between family, work. Yes, I think I did a decent job.
So I feel like I did a decent job as well, except I don't feel like I had enough balance to myself, like taking care of my health.
Maybe that's what we should do, is self-help, self-care.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
I feel like everything else still came first, which is
right.
typical,
Well, normal, yes.
Which is typical. But I felt like I was managing all of it, the work, the family, that kind of stuff. But I put myself at the bottom of the list.
Yeah, same. And I think women generally do that normally. So let's make that a universal goal for all women, is to concentrate on some self-care.
Yeah. And not feel guilty.
Right. Well, we shouldn't feel guilty because we need to take care of ourselves too.
That's right. All right. So that's the only one I'm going to have this year then.
I like it.
Is what is my goal to take care of myself better?
And this year it's too late, but next year I want us to do the whole come up with a word for the year.
Well, why does it have to be too late? We're like only a month away,
Okay, well, I don't have one off the top of mind. Maybe we come to our next episode and we come up with that.
All right. That sounds good.
Because I love that idea of just kind of having a theme for the year, a word for the year that you remind yourself and concentrate on.
Okay. That sounds great. So how has it been watching too?
Good. But I wanted to mention this because this might be helpful for other people. And I hadn't really, obviously things have changed so much since we had children, but a friend of mine from Pilates had just had her second grandchild right before I left for Texas. And her daughter-in-law that was having the baby was a labor and delivery nurse. So very knowledgeable. And I didn't ask questions and I didn't think about it, but now in retrospect, I get it. After they had baby number 2, the grandma, my friend, had the toddler at home, and she met her sibling at home, and they never went to the hospital. Mm-hmm. And I didn't really think anything of it. And she knows the zip it rules. She just does as she's told and is helpful. And
yeah.
So when the day after my daughter had my second granddaughter, we had planned for me to bring the almost 2-year-old to the hospital. And it is very hectic because, in a hospital room with all the cords, they are just wanting to touch everything, touch the baby. They want to see mommy. They want to see daddy. They are out of sorts. And it went fine. And of course, adorable pictures with her meeting her baby sister. And My daughter had a gift for her that from the baby, and everything went really smooth. But when it's time to leave and go home without mommy and daddy and baby, it was not a great situation.
Yeah.
And I felt so badly for her because she didn't get like, why isn't mommy coming? Why isn't daddy? Why isn't my baby here with me? So that night was super tough. And that was the only, like, she has her routine. I follow it to the letter of the law. She is so easy to put down for naps in bed. And that night was really rough because she just did not understand where her parents were because she had just seen them at the hospital.
That's right. Yeah.
So the next day I talked to my daughter and I was of course going to do whatever they wanted, but she agreed probably better just to stay home, which we did. And that day was much smoother. We did her normal routine. We played. She was happy, went down, no problems. And then the next day they came home. So we agreed in her situation, she thinks it's best with the next child, because I think they are having a next child, to bring the younger ones the day they're getting discharged.
Interesting.
And so that they meet the baby, they know the baby's born, you get the pictures, but then everyone goes home together.
That's a hard call.
I know. Well, I would have not thought about it, but
we had a little different experience. We brought the grandson every day. Now, my daughter was very anxious to come home, but I think, was she in there 2 days or 3 days? I can't remember. I think also 2 days, maybe into a third. But every day we would bring him. But we did make sure that when we left, they took us to the elevator. We made it fun. He got to push the button to the elevator. We went down, and we would always say we'd go back, and he was okay. But when we got home, he was acting out a little bit. So I think he internalized maybe some of the stress and the anxiety.
I just don't think they understand like the whole story.
They don't understand the whole story because it was almost the exact same age. You're talking about the difference in ages. But I remember we would talk about the new baby and he would get excited and he knew how to say her name, and it ended up okay. But we were very conscious about distracting him from leaving the room and his parents. Like, it wasn't like, bye. It was more like, okay, let's go down and touch the elevator. We didn't make a big scene about it being a goodbye.
Yeah, no, she was fine leaving the hospital. Her daddy he brought us to the car.
Oh, see, we didn't do that because the dad got to the elevator and then we said, okay, we're going to go here or whatever. And he was like, okay. But we did not want him to feel like he was being abandoned by saying bye and making kind of a big scene about the goodbye. So maybe that was the difference.
I think all that was fine. I think it was when it was time to go to bed. She wanted to know where the rest of the family was and why weren't they in her house.
Yeah.
I think that was the tough part. But now looking back, I'm thinking, well, that labor and delivery nurse knew something and I should have been asking further questions. It just goes to show you. I mean, sometimes it's trial through error. And of course, she's fine and everything's good. But it's just a little bit of a learning lesson. Other people might want to talk it through and see what will work best for their family. But food for thought, because we didn't really talk about it beforehand. It was just a plan that I would bring her and we would have
that's how it's expected.
Right.
They get to meet their siblings. So interesting. Well,
and as far as two, I hadn't really had to experience that because we just had like the little newborn and all she does is sleep and eat. And
and mom is still, she's not at work, so you don't have to deal with them by yourself yet. Well, so let me tell you just my experience so far because my daughter has gone back to work. So I take him to swim lesson on Tuesday mornings, and we did try it with just me and the two of them. So the first time I did it, we got there. It was okay. The swim instructor was late. So I changed him. The baby was in the stroller. I practiced what I preached about. Keep him in the car. Toddler out last. Toddler in first into the car. All that kind of stuff.
Is this like a private pool or like a center?
It's a center.
Okay.
Yeah. And so we get there. All good. I get him dressed into his double swim diaper thing and then his swim short. He sits on the step waiting for the instructor. Well, my granddaughter has a blowout, so she's crying, screaming, but the instructor isn't there yet. So I'm trying to watch him to make sure he doesn't get onto the deeper step while I'm trying to change her. Then he does the swim. That's all fine by the time the instructor came. He gets out. He runs into the bathroom and he locks the door into the bathroom because now he knows how to lock and unlock right now.
Oh, great.
So my granddaughter is screaming because now the instructor was late. So we threw off the time. We didn't get her meal on time or her bottle. I'm trying to get him dressed. He locks the door. Everybody's screaming. This little girl comes in screaming because she can't go to the bathroom because it was the women's bathroom. The mom said, "Oh, I'll take her to the boys' bathroom." 2 minutes later, they come back. The little girl's screaming because she doesn't want to go in the boys' bathroom. She wants to go in the girls' bathroom. And I can't get my grandson out of the bathroom.
Oh my gosh.
So I have so many people screaming, like little kids screaming in distress. And then this other mom says, "Do you want my son to go under the door and unlock it?" I'm like, "Please do that." My granddaughter was probably screaming the entire time. I finally get him dressed.
Oh no.
Then we're running out and the grandson like runs fast out and I can't see him around the corner. Oh my gosh. So we get through it. I get home. My daughter's like, "So how did it go?" Like, we survived. But it is not easy. I'm going to tell you right now. And then we're going to have a whole episode coming up on kid safety. Basically, I do nothing but protect the infant from the toddler.
Oh, that is I know. I'm so excited about all of our upcoming episodes. We have a lot to discuss. It's funny you mentioned that because just last weekend, my daughter has her master bedroom downstairs and my niece went in it and locked herself in the bedroom and couldn't get out. So I see a picture of my son-in-law trying to get the lock open and finally he gets a credit card and gets it open and the toddlers in the master bedroom, my daughter and the baby are outside the bedroom. It was a whole thing.
So last night I watched the grandkids and my grandson, he knows how to lock all the doors, right? So we go outside. I had to go into the garage to get some laundry or something. And we come back, he runs in and he shuts the door and I see him ready to lock it. And I have to like shove the door open as quickly as possible because like, oh my gosh, what if he locks me and
everyone out
and the infant out of this house? Because I'm not carrying the key with me everywhere.
Right.
So, oh my gosh,
I guess
scary.
That's note to self, carry key everywhere.
Carry key everywhere.
Yeah, that's funny.
Anyway, so we are excited about the upcoming episodes. We have a few coming up. The first one is keeping grandkids safe. And this is from baby proofing to emergencies and how grandparents can stay ready when things go wrong.
Right.
So we'll have plenty of stories. I have a few more to tell.
And to add on to that, as the weather starts getting warmer in the spring, I think we need to do a whole one on water safety. We covered it a little bit before, but there's so much more that we haven't covered yet with summer and water and...
Oh, absolutely. Then another one is when grandkids lie. So why grandkids lie and the age-appropriate way to respond when you're working grandmas and not full-time parents.
And not laugh.
So, like, even my 2-year-old grandson, he'll look at me and say something, and then but it's funny. He's, like, lying to me as he's doing it in front of my face.
Well, and it's so funny because it just cracks me up because they don't really think things through. It's just the whole mind of a toddler.
But then we'll talk about as they get older and they do.
Yeah, no, that'll be good.
Yeah. And then another one coming up is very important. It's your grandkids are watching. So the good and bad habits grandkids absorb by watching us try to juggle work, life, and family.
Yeah,
and
that's a good one because
I already have a bad.
A bad
he's
example.
Already picked up something bad from me. So.
Oh, that's funny. And I have lots of fabulous finds to throw into future episodes. And of course, we will always have some Don't Get Me Started because those are ongoing.
That's right. Oh, I'm sure you have a collection from the last 2 or 3 months of us.
I have been saving them up. So I'm looking forward to that. So thanks for tuning in, everyone. And we look forward to hearing your feedback and come join us in a couple weeks to listen to our next episode.
And if you still need to catch up on the prior episodes, some of which I mentioned here today, please do, because it's advice that we can continue to use throughout our lives.
Yes, and it's all there.
All right. Take care.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. Please like and subscribe to the podcast so we can continue to grow our community. Also follow us on Instagram at Working Grandmas Podcast, on Facebook at The Grand Balance, a Working Grandmas Podcast, and join our LinkedIn group, Working Grandmas. You can also email us at info@workinggrandmas.com or message us through any of our social media platforms.